9 times out of 10, you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top of me. Like I said, legal issues at the time. And, you know, my mind wasn't where I'm at now today.
You ever feel like someone's dimming your light on purpose? That's exactly what Beanie Sigel claims Jay-Z did to him over and over again. Beanie's finally breaking his silence, revealing a pattern that's haunted him for his whole career. He says every single time he was about to drop an album, Jay-Z would time his own release to hit the shelves right on top of his. The streets only had $20 to spend, and 9 times out of 10, they were grabbing Hov's record instead of his. Beanie says it crushed him. He was always close to breaking through, always hustling hard, but it felt like someone was keeping their foot on his neck. He goes even deeper, calling out the label games and shady politics at Roc-A-Fella. According to Beanie, insiders told him no one was ever allowed to outshine Jay-Z on his own turf. That wasn't paranoia. That was power moves being made in real time. Beanie felt like the whole system was built to keep him in check, no matter how talented or hungry he was. It wasn't just competition, it was control. Yeah, he really said that.
Like, oh, shit. Like, I used to have questions like, why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top of me. He wouldn't let me breathe or right before me. Like, I was always close, and I'm always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was going to buy an album, and it's under the same house, Roc-A-Fella, between Jay and Beanie Sigel,
Beanie admitted that hearing it out loud hit him like a punch. Oh, damn! He said he used to sit and wonder why every time he dropped an album, Jay would come right behind him or drop the same week. He could never catch a break, never get room to breathe. Back in those days, fans were buying physical copies, real CDs, and $20 was all most folks had to spare. So if both albums dropped under the same Roc-A-Fella roof between Jay-Z and Beanie Sigel, let's be real, 9 times out of 10, people were walking out with Jay's album in hand. Beanie said it made him question everything. He was putting his heart into his music, but it always felt like his moment got snatched away right when it was about to shine. He called that kind of in-house competition crazy, especially when the boss himself was the one overshadowing his own artist. Beanie said he just wanted a chance to breathe, to get his respect without being buried under Hov's spotlight. But when people suggested Jay did it on purpose, plotting to block his shine, Beanie got quiet. He said he didn't want to believe that, but deep down, he couldn't shake the feeling something wasn't right. Still, he stood on his confidence. He said plain and simple, "Ain't nobody better than me." You can feel the frustration pouring out of Beanie Sigel's words. He's not just venting, he's breaking down years of tension and disappointment that never really got addressed. Some fans are riding with him all the way, saying Jay definitely played it slick, while others argue the timing doesn't exactly match up. But even if every date isn't spot on, the emotion behind Beanie's story is raw and real. It shines a light on just how heavy it was trying to navigate the Roc-A-Fella machine when you weren't the golden child.
He a boss just like Jay was a boss. He was a part of that. He had to be a part of those decisions. So, you know, Dane would know better than me.
And Beanie ain't alone in this. Jadakiss, Nas, and a few other rappers have all hinted at similar clashes with Jay-Z over the years. It's not just about release dates, it's about how the whole system's built. The rap game's a Shark Tank, and only the strongest survive. The competition's baked in, power, timing, and control are everything. Now let's be clear, it's not about hating on Jay. Hip-hop's always been about proving who's the best, who's got the bars, the beats, and the voice that moves the people. Maybe Jay was just doing what every top dog does, making sure his crown stayed secure. But what Beanie's saying hits deep because it shows something real. Even the legends, the ones who helped shape the game, still get blocked, still get frustrated, still fight to be heard. No matter how big you get, someone can still dim your light if you let them. It really humanizes Beanie, showing that behind the bravado and bars, he's just a man caught up in a business way bigger than him. It's a cold reminder that hip-hop isn't just about raw talent. It's about timing, power moves, and straight-up politics. Still, no matter how much strategy or label manipulation goes on, real talent always cuts through the noise. You can't silence authenticity forever. Honestly, both sides deserve respect. Beanie's got every right to speak his truth and let people know what was happening behind those glossy Roc-A-Fella doors. He's giving us a peek into the grind, the pressure, and the quiet battles that most fans never see. And Jay-Z, he's always played chess, not checkers. He's been a businessman since day one, sharp, competitive, and sometimes ruthless when it came to protecting his throne. That's part of what turned him into the mogul he is now. But that doesn't make Beanie's feelings any less valid. It just shows how complicated the game really is. Sometimes it's not just about making music, it's about surviving the system. What's wild is how this whole situation still sparks debate today. Fans are split. Some say Beanie's just being honest about how the industry really works, while others think he's holding on to old grudges. But either way, his story exposes something real about the darker side of hip-hop, how competition can twist into control, and how loyalty can clash with ambition.
What happened was on Roc-A-Fella, I felt that Jay-Z, Beanie Sigel was the shit.
Yeah, he was fired.
And they would only let Beanie Sigel only sell so many records. This came from an executive at Roc-A-Fella, because I knew everybody. And they would only let Beanie sell so many records. And that was it. And they wouldn't push it no more. But Beanie, they would you couldn't be bigger than Jay-Z on Jay-Z's label, if that makes any sense.
People forget that Roc-A-Fella wasn't just a label. It was a family that turned into a battlefield. When money, fame, and egos mix, things get messy fast. Beanie wasn't just another artist. He was one of the hardest voices of that era. Someone who brought raw pain and truth to the mic. To feel like your own camp was holding you back, that hits deep. And Jay, he kept climbing, building empires, signing deals, and turning the blueprint into $1 billion plan. But every move up the ladder left stories like Beanie's behind. Untold truths and broken trust that never fully healed. That's the part people forget when they talk about success, what it costs, and who gets left in the shadows while someone else shines. What makes it even deeper is that Beanie and Jay weren't just label mates. They were brothers in spirit once. They built something real together, standing shoulder to shoulder in an era where every lyric felt like a war cry. Beanie held it down for Roc-A-Fella when things got tense, when the streets were watching, and when loyalty meant everything. But somewhere along the line, that bond cracked, and the silence between them said more than words ever could. Over the years, Beanie has spoken on how that distance cut him. He's admitted that it wasn't just business, it was personal. He looked up to Jay, saw him as a mentor, someone who could open doors for the whole team. But instead, he says he ended up feeling like just another piece in the game, valuable only when useful, forgotten when inconvenient. That kind of realization doesn't fade easy, especially when it's mixed with love, pride, and resentment all at once. Jay, on the other hand, never really addressed it head on. He stayed quiet, focused on his empire, and let the rumors swirl while Beanie's pain echoed in interviews and songs. Some say that's the mark of a true businessman, moving forward no matter what. Others say it's cold-blooded, proof that in hip-hop, friendship often comes second to power. No matter how you see it, the Beanie and Jay-Z story isn't just rap history. It's a cautionary tale about trust, loyalty, and how chasing greatness can sometimes cost you the people who helped you get there. What really hits hard is how that silence between Jay and Beanie turned into years of tension that never truly faded. Beanie's tried to extend olive branches over time, saying he's still got love for Jay despite everything, but you can tell that pain still lingers. It's not just about money or fame, it's about loyalty, respect, and feeling like the brotherhood they built got traded for business moves and boardroom deals. There were moments where fans thought a reunion might actually happen. Beanie even shouted Jay out during some performances, hoping to mend the bond. But Jay kept it quiet, never really returning the energy. That silence said it all. The chapter had closed, at least on Jay's end. And in the world of hip-hop, when someone like Hav moves on, it usually means there's no coming back. Still, people can't stop wondering what could have been. Imagine if Jay and Beanie had stayed united. The music, the energy, the movement they could have built together would have been unstoppable. Two lyrical giants from the same camp, feeding off each other's hunger and heart. That's the kind of chemistry hip-hop rarely sees twice. Instead, what we got was distance, pride, and decades of what-ifs. Beanie became the voice for everyone who ever felt overlooked or pushed aside by a system that rewards power over passion. And Jay, he became the symbol of what it means to play the game smart, even if it means walking away from the people who once had your back. They're surviving in a world where every move is about timing, exposure, and power. In this game, it's not just about who's the most talented, it's about who plays the board the best. Beanie Sigel's story shines a light on that unseen part of hip-hop, the side that's raw, emotional, and often hidden behind million-dollar smiles and flashy success. It's a reminder that even the real ones, the ones built from the streets up, still gotta fight for their spot under the spotlight. What makes this story powerful is how real it feels. Beanie's honesty shows the struggle behind the music, the sacrifices, the frustration, and the grind it takes to survive when the odds are stacked against you. It's not about picking sides between Beanie and Jay-Z, it's about understanding how deep the industry really runs and respecting the journey every artist takes just to be heard. So tell me, do you think release timing really makes or breaks an artist's career? And do you believe Jay-Z's timing was just business or something a little more personal? Drop your thoughts down below, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure you subscribe for more deep dives like this. I'll catch you in the next one.